You know what? You know what I love? Top 10 things that I love. When I'm so tired and running a few, like late for the show, and I I'm hitting buttons and I'm doing all these things and I'm adjusting stuff, and then I forget to sort of just look down and make sure that I'm not on mute. It's as if I've never done this before. My first live broadcast was in 2007. So if I do carry the one, that's 18 years, according to math. One would think that I haven't eaten since breakfast. So I have top 10 excuses for let's start all over again. Hi, I'm Lou. Welcome. If it's your first time here, I'm sorry. If it's not your first time here, I'm also sorry. And to those of you who are texting me that there's no audio, yeah, thank you for that. Um, yeah, I'm going on no sleep, not very much food. Exhaustion is a privilege. I'm grateful for it. Having just come off the Destiny and just a lot of travel and spinning a lot of plates in the air all at the same time. So thank you for, if you're still here, thank you for being hopefully understanding and patient. And I'm also why is it so yellowy? Let's do this a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Yeah, I was moving stuff around today, and 7:30 came upon me that quickly, which is why I have no specific topic to chat about. Plus, I feel like I haven't been here in a while, so I figured we would talk about anything that you want to chat about. A relatively short show tonight because I actually do have a call. I have to give an interview, a West Coast interview. I think it's West Coast interview in a little while, so I'm going to monitor the time as well. Becky says I didn't make fun of you. So we recorded earlier today with Becky and Serena about the Disney Destiny. I wasn't making fun of you. You were making fun of yourself. I was expressing how the reason why the show the reason why the show came out on Wednesday instead of Monday is because Becky was cruising on a different cruise line. And I wanted to make sure, Becky, I gave you 2 days of recovery and travel time to make sure you'd be at your best. It didn't work out that way, but no, it was great, and we had a lot of fun recording today. Jimmy Styles. See, speaking of blasts from the past and people I haven't seen in a long time, Jimmy. First of all, I haven't seen you in real life. We have to fix that. That's on me, not on you. So, Kristen said I'd be hangry if I'm you. I'm not hangry, but I'm definitely hungry, and I'm probably not gonna have time for dinner until much later because I have the interview right after this. I've got stuff to do, and forget about how we survived. Excuse me, without Amazon. How did we survive? And by we, I mean who does not cook. I wish I knew how to cook. I don't. Without like Uber Eats and DoorDash. Like, thank God for that. It has saved me more times than not. So, Drew Pike, happy Wednesday as well. Hannah Bird, nice to see you again. How would I rate the Disney Destiny in context of the other ships? So that's the $64,000 question. That's also a reference to a show that you probably wouldn't know. We talked about that on the show today, and I'm having a tough time answering that question for a number of reasons. One, the answer I would have given you when I first got on board is different than the answer I would give you that will give you now that I've gotten off the ship. However, because the cruise that we did was a preview cruise, right? So there was media, there was travel agents there with really half a complement of a ship. There was about 2,100 guests as opposed to 4,000. There were no kids. It was 2.5 days. We had the christening ceremony. It was like, I don't know about my schedule, and again, grateful. My schedule was nonstop from 7 a.m. Like, I didn't get back to my room before midnight any night of the cruise because you're trying to get everywhere, see everything that's new, ingest content, do interviews, run around, like do all the things that you quote unquote need to do, process it, turn stuff around relatively real time ish. And then also, I only had chicken tenders one night, but at least I had my chicken tenders. That's all I cared about. So my very long-winded answer is I don't know. I can't say definitively until I take an actual cruise with actual guests. There was no kids. This was a perfect Becky cruise. Half a ship's complement, no children, like that. Other than Becky not staying in, like having the entire concierge level all to herself, it was a perfect Becky cruise. but it was not an actual cruise. I need to go with a full complement of guests, with kids, after they've continued to sort of test and adjust, gone through, it's, I still think that there was minor tweaks that were happening even while we were on board, as is to be expected. So all that to say, I would right now, I think the Treasure for me is still, it's still sort of number one. And maybe it's recency bias, but I love the theming. I love the storytelling, all the things we've talked about. After going through the cruise on the Destiny, there's a lot of those elements that they've turned up to 11. And it really was like an impactful differentiator for me. So the Destiny moved up way higher than I thought it would for all those reasons and then some. I think the Treasure is probably still number one. I think, let me rephrase that. I think the Disney Wonder to Alaska is the perfect ship in the perfect itinerary in the perfect place, period. I love the venues. I love the layout. I love the Promenade Lounge. I love the French Quarter. I love Tiana's. I love. I love the size of that ship. I love that destination. The Treasure is right up there too. And I think the Destiny, I honestly feel, I'm saying this half jokingly, but seriously, it's been so long since I've been on the Magic or Dream class ship. I would like to go back on them so I can have a relatively recent frame of reference to compare to. So I'm going to have to see if I can somehow finagle doing that research for you. Is that an answer to your question? I don't know that I could rank the ships right now, but I will tell you that the Treasure, if you had to ask me what I could do tomorrow, it would probably be a 7-day Treasure cruise, because it's the ship, it's the length, etc. So that's that I think is where I am. Allison says, I'd like to chat about how we all had a collective cry at dinner during Pride Lands. Allison, I had more emotional moments on this cruise than I thought I would have, because I go solo. I am in total work mode. Like, that's it. Like, I am there for a specific purpose. I'm there to gather, to process, to share, and then come back, take more time to process it, and then put out long form content. But I am on board, like, I am all business, other than my chicken tender and Big Hero 6 time, however, we did have those emotional moments on board, and they did happen in Pride Lands, not just because we needed an extra leaf in the table for all of the food and dessert, but that's a separate story for a separate day. But even like in Hercules, like when I was interviewing, and I embarrass myself by saying this, but I don't care. We're all family. As I was interviewing, the lead executive creative director of Disney Live Entertainment, who I had met once before and was wonderful at Moana, I was telling her about how, and I hope that they realize, as somebody whose daughter is in production design and stage management, who grew up going on Disney cruises, I don't know if they realize just how impactful those shows really are. Because I think that there are children. I think my daughter is one of those children. And I've never actually talked about it with her, but I'm going to attribute a lot of this to her. Seeing those shows and feeling what we all feel when we see them, I absolutely believe changed the trajectory of her life and put her on the path that she is on. And the cast and the crew and every part of those shows, from Hercules in the theater to the performers on stage at Pride Lands. I mean, having good food with that too is like a dinner and a show all at the same time, makes it even more better and emotional, but really are impactful, wonderful moments. And again, it's why I want to go back and I want to see it with kids. I want to watch the reaction of children to Hercules, to Pride Lands, to some of those other character encounters and experiences that you have. But yes, we did have a group cry at dinner during Pride Lands, and that was the best part of the cruise for me, was being able to share those meals with you. I mean, I didn't actually share your meal. I saw you had French fries one night. I think you did give me one. I think I did had to eat. I did have one of your French fries, which also brought a happy little tear to my cheek. Just have a nice big breakfast tomorrow. Tomorrow I have an early day tomorrow. I have another early day tomorrow too. Tomorrow I'm going to the Orange County Convention Center for IAAPA, which is the theme park industry trade show. It's been going on all week. I just haven't been able to fit it into my schedule. So I'm going to go there just to get an idea of what may be sort of coming down the pike from a 30,000 foot perspective, not just to Disney, but to the theme park industry, and see how I think Disney influences the industry and what sort of inspiration Disney might be taking from what some of these other developers and manufacturers are producing. It's always very fun and interesting to see. Christening ceremony, also an emotional roller coaster, like in the best possible way. I was smiling. I don't know if I said this, Becky, when we were recording today. There were moments on not just the christening ceremony, but moments that I was going through some of the experiential things on the ship that I caught myself smiling ear to ear. Like, I was looking at it a lot of times through the lens of my phone, but I was smiling ear to ear because of just how happy it made me. And it was reflecting on that. And I was like, yeah, like, I really like this ship. I really like this ship. I like the story. You can play a game at home when you're listening. Don't take a drink. Don't do a shot every time we say the word story or storytelling, because you'll be ripped by like minute 6. But that really is where this ship shines. And speaking of the future, I think this ship and what is happening there not just takes influences from something that has happened in the past that we'll talk about on the show, but is going to influence the future of the Disney Cruise Line experience. I think this is a turning point in a lot of ways. I think the Destiny, and I'm not sort of, it's not hyperbolic when I say that it's going to, and based on the reactions that we have, and again, once tomorrow launches the maiden voyage, once other everyday guests see that, I think the response is going to be fantastic. So Paulette from freezing cold Maryland. Well, Paulette, bring some of that. First of all, bring some of your potato latkes down and your matzo ball soup. Bring some of that cold down here. It was 82 degrees today. I'm waiting, like I'm talking to myself as I'm getting dressed. I'm like, it's the middle of November. Why does it not feel like fall? Like, other than, pumpkin spice everything, which is starting to go away, which makes me very sad. I'm not ready to transition into the peppermint stuff just yet. I would like it to feel a little bit more fall-y and almost Christmassy. So, all right, let me go down. The Wonder to Alaska is on our bucket list. Disney's, that's good to know, because there are conversations happening about upcoming WDW Radio cruise adventures. Right now, we have our cruise on the Disney Destiny, February 9th through the 14th. I would love for you to join us, because cruising is better when it is enjoyed with friends. If you go to www.radio.com/Destiny26, you can get a free, no obligation quote from our friends over at mousefantravel.com. These guys right there. So, yeah, I want to go back to Alaska. We've been talking about this too, about doing not just an Alaska cruise, but maybe even like an Alaska land and sea type deal. So right now we have the Destiny on our event schedule for 26. There are other plates that are being spun, but don't have anything else to announce just yet. So, Drew, I did not take a tour on the Treasure. I sort of made my own adventure and toured as much as I possibly could in the time that I had allotted. There was a lot to cover, and really only focusing on what was new. Like, excuse me, thankfully, some of the spaces are nearly identical to what you see on the Wish and or the Treasure. So Haunted Mansion Parlor, which I did spend some time in because there were some new beverages and opportunities in there. But a lot of the spaces that are new really is where I wanted to focus my time and attention. I had some friends and other creators that I know who not only had not been on other ships before, but had never cruised before, and they brought their kids. I was like, oi, you are juggling a lot, because you've got to sort of split yourself in two and give attention to your family, but you also need to take in, as from a guest perspective, the entire ship in a very short period of time, and cover everything that you've never seen before, and highlight the things that are new and unique to the Destiny. That Speaking of matzo balls, that's a big matzo ball to try and eat in a very short period of time. I told Becky Menken from Mouse Fan Travel today, I asked her, almost not really kidding, how much lead time, and I think the answer is 72 hours, how much lead time do you need to book a true last minute cruise? Because I want to go back on board. I really do. I want to go back on board and I want to experience it like a regular guest and see a full cruise. I don't even want to get off the ship. Like, okay, maybe on Castaway I'll get off. But because I want to experience the cruise from beginning to end and catch all the things that I did not get to see. And also some of those moments that I caught, Donald Duck dancing down the hallway with incredible cast member, like riffing on her own, like freestyle rap. Like if you haven't seen my Instagram, go over to instagram.com/LouMongello and look at the Donald Duck video. It was a moment like that. It's so funny. As a creator, we spend so much time thinking about the content that we want to pull together, how to frame it, how to share it, trying to create something that is going to resonate with you. I don't think about going viral. That's not what's important. It's about bringing things that are fun, interesting, valuable, unique, and creative. And we go through a lot of work. And I was making a joke that I was sitting on my phone, which I've been doing a lot, like editing videos like this, and a simple little 27-second video of Donald just he and I walking down the hall, like he was just doing his thing. I happened to be behind him. That's the thing that really resonates with people. So go and check it. I don't know where I was going with that story, but it doesn't really matter. But there you go. So let me see. Let me quickly scroll down. I'm way behind on comments. Does the choice on the villain, on the destiny of hero or villain, have much of an impact on the experience? Not at all. So unlike, and we talk about the Star Cruiser influence, which I think is greater than people might realize until you get on board. How the Star Cruiser influenced the Destiny, how the Destiny will influence ships that will come after it. Where there, you really sort of go down one of two paths, primarily, right? On the Star Cruiser, you were with the Resistance or you were with the Empire, and your phone and the messages that you would get would sort of help sort of push you in that direction. The interactions that you would have would push you in that direction. That doesn't matter here at all. There's none of that sort of commitment one way or the other. You are not a hero or a villain. There's nothing like that. However, more so than any other ship, the hero and villain through line and the dots that are connected so brilliantly and sometimes subtly, and also many times by the storytellers themselves, who are the connective tissue between, like, you have this aha moment at the end. You're like, oh, I get it. All of these story beats, all of these interactions, all of these experiences were absolutely very thoughtfully and strategically and brilliantly tied together. And so you get it. And so you don't have to be a Marvel fan. You don't have to be a hero or villain fan to enjoy this or to understand what's going on at all. Whereas like the Star Cruiser, you have to sort of have some rudimentary Star Wars knowledge. Not this at all. It is very fun, and you can go as the heroes and villains who are out bleeping standing. Loki is Loki. Maleficent is Maleficent. I mean, obviously they always are, but they are fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic. Like, the level of talent that is on all the cruise line ships, but the level of talent on the Destiny ship blew me away. From stem to stern, from on stage at Hercules to character encounters, it is the best of the best, and it pays off. It pays dividends, absolutely. So, did I meet Susan Egan? Very, very, very briefly, just like a hello. I've met her before, but I also had like a total geek out moment. This was, I don't know where it was. I posted something and like I screenshotted like a little boy, like Susan Egan liked my reel or liked my post. Like, I get all excited. So that's my closest Susan Egan moment. But I would love to. Again, I've met her very briefly. I've never interviewed Susan. Have I? No. I've interviewed Jodie Benson, never Susan Egan. Maybe now is the time. Now is the best time to see if I can get a conversation with her, because I think first of all, she's ridiculously talented, and now with all the love for Hercules, it would be so appropriate. So, Kevin Shea from Cold, Plymouth, Massachusetts, home of the very first Thanksgiving. Plenty to be thankful for always. Listen, I love Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving to me is like Mother's Day and Father's Day. Like, it should not be restricted to one day a year. We should be grateful for our mothers and fathers and be thankful every single day. It shouldn't take one moment to get us together, but hopefully we all get to spend Thanksgiving with those that we love or at least can tolerate. So Katrina Kenny says, Alaska land and sea. Yes, please. Sister, I'm with you. I love Alaska. I would love to do some of the interior stuff and see that. So Heather says, I love the Donald Duck dance video. I've watched it multiple times. I've watched it. I've now watched, because if somebody likes it or reshares, I always go back and I like it, like just to show a little bit of gratitude. So I have seen that Donald Duck video thousands of times. Like, at this point, I think, and I'm not a numbers guy, because it really is not about the number, but I think, here, let's take a quick look. I think right now it is at 5.5 million views, which is wild, right? Again, sometimes we work so hard to produce other things, and it's a silly little 30-second Donald Duck video that resonates. And that number matters to me for one reason and one reason only. I am so grateful that I was able to capture that spontaneous, unscripted, unplanned moment, and that little video brought a tiny bit of joy to 5.5 million people around the world. Because I see people sharing it from South Korea and Japan and countries I've never heard of, and I'm like, that's it, man. Like, that right there, that's Disney magic. So the fact that I was able to help bring that to other people, that's it, man. That is the greatest reward of that. So let me see. Kevin Shea says, is it worth the extra to go to Palo and the other high-price option, Enchante? So the answer is it depends. It depends on you. So we'll take Enchante first. Enchante is a very French, very high-end experience. You will be there for 3 to 4 hours easy without even blinking an eye. The food is it is unique, right? I think the menu item, and again, it does change, is there's a vegetarian option and there is a regular sort of chef selected option from Chef Laurent. Is pigeon, which can be replaced. You can substitute other things for it at a premium, but you are not going to get this huge buffet of food. It is about the experience. Palo is different. Palo has a brunch. Palo has a dinner. I am a Palo brunch kind of guy because you get all the blessings and beauty of breakfast. And if breakfast and lunch had a baby, it would be brunch at Palo. And I think the food is exceptional. I love the experience there. I would do Palo brunch. Like, don't eat breakfast and make sure you make it as early in the day as you can, because you will be full for hours before dinner, especially if you have early dinner. But I think Palo brunch, and Becky, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's $50 now, unless you are staying, unless you are staying in concierge, or if you are a platinum member, I think you get a Palo included with your voyage. But it's absolutely worth it. Palo brunch all day, every day. Make it happen. So, Sunny Day say, I love the video. Share it with my family. Thank you for sharing it out. Where are the characters on the Destiny not usually walking around Disney parks most of the time? Where are they characters? Oh, I think you're asking if there are characters not walking around the Disney park. So you will see Loki, you'll see Black Panther, you'll see Spider-Man, you'll see Maleficent, you'll see the Fab Five, not just in their regular cruise gear, but they also have their superhero personas, and you'll see them in superhero gear, and they have their own superpowers, and like I didn't get to see them, but supposedly there are like, I don't think I talked about this on the show. There's like figurines of the Fab Five in their superhero uniforms, like costumes that you can get at Mickey's main sale. Again, it's reason that I need to go back. There are some characters and character references that you will find there that are unique to the ship that I don't want to spoil. Dr. Facilier is again, there's two different Dr. Facilier experiences where you can go meet Dr. Facilier, chat with him, get your photo, but there's also Dr. Facilier's parlor where he goes in and does close-up magic for you. I didn't get to see that because I just didn't have the time and could not split myself into three, but those are just some of the characters that you will see on board. So let me see. Oh, I guess there's some buffering going on. It's just me at home, so I don't know. There's no reason. There's nothing here that would be doing it. It could be my, wonderful Florida internet as well. Lisa says, I feel like I'm at a rave. So I'm assuming you feel like you're at a rave because there's something going on with either the audio or video. Vacation Kingdoms says, what is the best part of the Destiny? The pineapple coconut soft serves on day 2. So, Connor, I've got bad news, man. And I'm sad. I am legit sad about this because nobody, you included, my friend, did not tell me about the pineapple coconut soft serve until the next day when it wasn't there anymore. So I'm not a sweets guy. I'm running around like I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs trying to get content. I inhaled oh my God, Donald's Cantina taco was so good. It's as big as my head. It's like a giant calzone. I was like, oh, I should get some ice cream. No, I'll have time later. I never did, and I'm so sad because I've never ever seen pineapple coconut ice cream on a Disney ship before. Becky, get me back on a ship ASAP. Better yet, I'll just go to the Mousefan Travel Cruise booking engine and I'll just take care of it myself. Yes, it's $50 for Apollo Brunch. Enchante broke my kids' taste buds, says Sean Roberts from But Mostly Disney. Very French, very expensive, very wonderful, but the other food on our wish trip was so good, I'm not sure we needed to upgrade. Again, that's why I said, especially for Enchante, look at the menu first. Make sure it is for you. Make sure it's the kind of experience that you want to have. I am a more of a Deck 11 Festival of Foods, give me a Cabanas buffet all day, every day over an Enchante, but that's just me. There are times I do like to dress for dinner and have a wonderful dinner. I think that's what Apollo Brunch gives you, is that nice balance, because you can go relatively casual-ish, but it's still an elevated experience. Enchante for me, barring... So I will say this. I had an opportunity to dine at Enchante on this cruise. I chose instead to be with my table mates at World of Marvel because it was more about the people and the environment than it was about the food. And that's something that you have to sort of think about too. Especially if you have kids, Enchante is an adults-only restaurant as well. So, Vacation Kingdoms, Connor says, superhero Minnie the Mist. Yeah, I talk about on the show this week the different characters and their names and their superpowers, because they all have superpowers. I don't know how Pluto uses his superpower, but I'm sure as your cruise evolves, you might be able to see that happen. Sean says, was the Hercules show as good as the Moana show? Sean, some people say that, again, this is personal preference. I heard a lot of people say who Moana is their favorite movie and they like Hercules better. It's not, for me, it wasn't better or worse. It was just different. My feels that I had in Moana were different than the feels I got from Hercules. Hercules for me was sort of like this slow build up, and it follows the story, right? It follows the movie pretty close, and the Broadway productions pretty closely, but it is a slower build, and it is a hero's journey, which is the hero's journey, and it is a love story, whereas Moana, the emotions that come out and the emotions that literally came out like through my eyeballs like I was crying at the end, were very different. So I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I want to go back and see Hercules again. The one thing I will say is the music from Hercules is amazeballs. Strong, strong, insanely strong cast. Um, the set pieces and design. There's no screens, right? It's all practical effects, which I love. The Hydra is incredible. The Titans are amazing. And have I mentioned the Muses? Like if I could just watch the Muses in concert all day, I would do it because they are so, so good. William says, if I were to take my first cruise, what ship should I try first? I'm thinking about doing one of the Halloween ones next year. William, this is such a hard question because I think you also have to take into account a number of different factors which may influence your decision. Where do you want to cruise from? Right? Is it Port Canaveral? Is it Fort Lauderdale? Is it Galveston? Is it somewhere else? How long do you want to go for? How important are the ports to you versus the ship? For me, the ship is the deciding factor over the ports, the destinations I will go to for the most part, right? Because the ship is the star, especially in things like Alaska. I can make an argument for you to like Hercules, like step your way up, start with the classic ships, go to the Dream class, go to the. But right now, I think if you were starting, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. If somebody is going to cruise for the very first time, I think the Wish class ship is the perfect place to start because the other classes of ships follow a very sort of similar pattern in terms of layout and design. These are very different. I would then sort of ask you which of these three ships, because I think each of these ships is going to attract somebody different for different reasons, right? The Wish is more about princesses and fairy tales. The Treasure is more about the parks and nostalgia. The Destiny is more about heroes and villains. If one of those speaks more to you, then start going down that road. The Treasure is also 7 days. The Destiny is 4 and 5. You have to sort of weigh all those factors and say, what is the right entry point for you? Time of year, location, cost, duration, destination, theming. You do have to sort of weigh all those things and decide, or just dive right in and just come. Why don't you come with us on the Destiny in February? There you go. That's the easiest answer. Connor says, I think I ate all of it, so I don't get your hopes up. I know I did have the strawberry banana on the last day because I literally was on like a food feeding frenzy. I'm like, I need to get this. I need to get this. I had to force myself. I was like slapping myself in the face to stay awake so that I could have chicken tenders when I went back to my room that night. So Becky says, book meicruise.com. Go for it. Yeah, that is the Mouse Fan Travel cruise booking engine where you can go and quote Disney Cruise Line, other cruise lines as well, but you can see what is available and pricing. And if you want to just book it yourself, you can book it right through there. So it's a great way for those who are like me, like DIYers. I don't want to get on the phone with somebody. I just want to like look, I want to see, just sort of make that choice yourself. That is a great way to go ahead and do it. So would I sail on the Destiny again? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm cruising. I'm looking forward to cruising again on the Destiny in February. If I could find some way to sneak in a cruise before then, which I might have to because I have to write my scavenger hunt, which I just realized. So, Becky, maybe I do need to go to the bookmei.com cruise site and get myself on board for a couple-day cruise. Otherwise, I'm going to have a really tough time writing a scavenger hunt for a ship that I was not able to scavenge for facts. So, Kevin Shea is going on the 5-day Destiny cruise after Thanksgiving. Love the topic. What are the top 3 must-see and unique experiences? So you are an adult. I will speak to the adult perspective. I think you have to see, especially you have to see With Great Power, the adults-only Marvel show in Saga at night. You have to see Treble Making with Cruella in DeVille's. You obviously have to see Hercules, but I will sort of leave that out. The top 3 must-sees, and I would absolutely make sure you go to Cask and Cannon. And I mean, I didn't say Pride Lands because that will be in your rotation. But if you are going to do Palo or Enchante one night, do not do it on Pride Lands night. Do it on Worlds of Marvel or 1923, whichever one. But those other things, and do not miss, do not miss any of the bigger experiences that happen in the Grand Hall, because they are epic, and that is really when that Grand Hall comes to life with the changes in the lighting, changes in sound, and how they utilize those 3 decks all as theatrical performance spaces. It'll make sense when you get there, I promise. Drew Pike says, just run the Magic, beautiful ship, wonderful crew. You would never know that ship is 26 years old. I have a very big soft spot in my heart for the classic ships, both Magic and Wonder. So, Jonathan Embry, so we actually do this. So we do an ice cream social on all of our group cruises. I have to somehow find out in advance when, or maybe we just do an ice cream social every single day so we don't miss it. Becky, somebody remind me that. We need to do an ice cream social every day just so we don't miss the pineapple coconut flavor. It'll be the flavor of the day. There you go. The flavor of the day, ice cream social. I'm not a sweets guy, but I can become one under the proper circumstances. Jonathan Embry, great idea. So, let me see. Do I prefer one hard mention parlor over the other? They're the same. The only thing that's different are the drinks. In both the Destiny and the Treasure, the drinks are different. The souvenir mugs are different. I didn't feel anything different one way or the other. I will only say that, and again, I haven't seen it with guests, but 7-day cruises do afford you more time to see and do everything. So, like when I did the Treasure, there were times I walked into the Haunted Mansion parlor and I was literally the only person there, which I love because on some of the shorter cruises, these spaces can get crowded because they are more intimate and you only have a finite amount of time to try and see and do it all. So, Jen Subco, nice to see you as well. There you go. I'll give you the hearts in return. Just got off our first Disney cruise on the Magic, booked our placeholder for the next one. Can't wait. There is something wonderfully addictive about Disney Cruise Line, and I will only say this, man. There's worse ways to spend your money because you know what you're going to get. You know what Disney is going to deliver. You know what kind of experience and food and chicken tenders you are going to have. The Kiss Goodnight with Black Panther, does it happen every night or is it just one night? It happens every night, and every night is going to be a little bit different. So when I was there, they were still testing and adjusting. So I saw the same on 2 nights. There is a different one for Pirate Night. And I'm assuming on a 4 or 5 night cruise, they will sort of vary. Again, I can't speak to it, Jonathan, because I haven't been on there. Hopefully after the Maiden, we'll get a better understanding. But it is very, very, very cool. And I like standing, there's different places that you can stand on all the 3 decks. I like standing on deck 3 in front of the staircase, like almost a little bit in the middle. So you get sort of that full 360 view of the Grand Hall, and you see the stairs light up, and you can see sort of that proscenium stage illuminated as well. I think that's some of the, I think that's one of the best places to be able to stand. Are the special shows on the app, or can you book before? And so they are on the app, but you cannot book them ahead of time. It does help you plan your day to know where you want to be when, especially for some of the things like the Facilier Parlor, where it is very, very small. It's very intimate. They only take a few people at a time. That line, again, it was a 2-day really cruise. Those lines did get pretty long, so you had to get there early. But if you are a planner, everything is going to be in the app. However, and we're not sure about this yet, there are some things that are going to be the surprise and delight moments that are not in the app, and afford yourself the wonderful opportunity to take those things in as they happen, which I think is it. Again, it's very Star Cruiser like. A character might pop up, some sort of experience might happen. You might be in a certain location, and a character just comes in. Some of these are planned, some of these are not. We'll see if those character encounters end up making the final schedule. I think there was a lot of discussion still going on because there are pros and cons to both. The biggest improvement from the Wish to the Destiny in the Wish class of ships, or are they all fairly similar? They are similar, but it's the storytelling. It is continued to ramp up from the Wish to the Treasure with Coriander and Sage. Here with Zaya and Gamble, these storytellers that even more so are the bookends. They are these wow moment bookends to the story of your cruise that you're not just taking in, but you are contributing to and being a part of, and they are your literal and figurative guides along the way. So storytelling, storytellers, interactive, immersive, enhanced experiences is definitely, I think, leveled up from the Wish. We'll see if this trickles down to other ships in the fleet, not just in the Wish class, but in other classes as well. So Mr. Daps says it's a very good reason to go on a 7-day cruise. Brother, I'm with you. I'm with you. 4 days, for 2.5 days, forget that. Even 4 days, I'm finding 5 days is not enough. Like you need that breathing and eating and stretchy pants room, which a 7-day cruise affords you. I promise you, you will not get bored unless you want to be. Like, I still carry a book. It's almost a joke now. I still carry like a book with me whenever I travel, because I know one of these days I'm going to wipe the literal and figurative dust off it and actually read. It might even happen on a Disney cruise one of these days. Not a group cruise, but if I ever go a cruise on my own, like, I just want to go on a cruise by myself, like without a group, without any other sort of like responsibilities, and just like take the cruise in and enjoy it, and actually sit down and like read a book. Like I want to go to Cove Cafe or sit on a veranda and just read a book. I'm a simple man. Chicken tenders and time to read a book. But again, exhaustion is a privilege, and I'm grateful for it. And yeah, so. Jennifer Kaufman says we can see her from our hotel room. Can't wait to hear more. The pictures and videos have been great. Yeah, the ships are beautiful. The crew has been amazing. Every part of it, I have no complaints. Mr. Daps needs to catch up on the whole Disney Cruise Line thing. Listen, if you're looking for somebody to sort of go in with, and just, if you need a guide, I know a guy. I'm with you. I'm a giver. I will do this for and with you. It'll be like a buddy comedy. We can just like live stream the whole thing and record it. It would be great. It would be great for pure content and enjoyment. Is the Haunted Mansion Lounge the same as Beak and Barrel? They are two different experiences. One is obviously Haunted Mansion themed. One is Pirates of the Caribbean themed. They are I'm sorry. Is a Haunted Mansion Lounge the same as Beak? I think you're asking, is Cask and Cannon the same as Beak and Barrel? That might be, is that what you're asking? Cask and Cannon on the Destiny, is it the same as Beak and Barrel in Walt Disney World? No, they are very different experiences. And actually, Cask and Cannon, there's TVs everywhere. So it's if a sports bar and a like pirate bar from the Caribbean had a baby, that's what Cask and Cannon would be. So, Richard's going on the Destiny October 26th. Oh, I assume 2026. October 26th for a 7-8 Halloween on the high seas. I do love the themed cruises, Becky Menken. I do love the themed cruises. Becky Menken. I do love the themed cruises. And we haven't done a Halloween on the high seas or Christmas cruise in a while. And we currently only have, Becky's going to be so mad at me for doing this out loud, but I don't care. We said this on the show, like, it's live, I don't care, I just let it go. I wonder, this is my thinking phase, can we do a Halloween on the high seas or Christmas cruise in 2026? Yes, I mean, we can. Take a look into that, would you, please? MouseFanTravel.com. So, looking forward to the 14-night. I would love to do a repositioning cruise. I would love to do I've never done, the longest cruise I've ever done is 7. I would love to do one of those repositioning cruises and have just time to enjoy the ship. So Andrew Mylan from Mouse Gear says, would it be best to start with a short cruise? Some people feel that way. Some people are hesitant for one reason or another to maybe commit to a longer cruise. I think that you don't get the full, like a 3-day cruise. I understand it from a value perspective. I understand it from a time, and a commitment perspective. But like the first day, you're just getting on, you're mustering, like you're getting acclimated. The last day, you're like getting back to your room early so you can start packing. I think a 4 or 5 day cruise is the sweet spot for a first time cruise. I think I love the double dips. So a double dip is like a double stop at Castaway Cay or a double stop at Lookout. I think that is sort of the sweet spot. And then if you want to sort of level up to a 7 or even longer day cruise, I think that would be probably the way that I would do it. Although if you can do it and you want like a nice relaxing cruise with great ports, I think 7 day is, for me, 7 day is the sweet spot. What book would I like to read on a cruise? Oh man. So it's funny. Like I don't know if you can see behind me, I have bookshelves back here that extend the entire length of my room. I have another bookshelf here. I also have like what I call the on deck circle right here, which is, these are the books I really, really, really want to read next. I also have a Kindle with like books that are like ready to go no matter where I am. I don't know. Because this is my other problem too, Mr. Daps, is I have a very tough time relaxing as long as I'm sort of opening up to you because you're my friend, so I will. I have a very tough time relaxing. So a lot of the books that are on my shelf are business-related books, ways to sort of improve myself. I have not read like a novel, like a Stephen King novel or something like that in decades. I think the closest I've come to it is a couple of books I've read on like Japanese philosophy. Like, I know, really, so fun. But it is like that fascinates me. And that's probably as close as I've gotten. But yeah, one of these days. So, nothing beats coffee and ice cream bars on the veranda at sunrise. I like the fact that you eat, I'm assuming that cream bars means ice cream bars. I love the fact that your breakfast is coffee and ice cream. Like, I mean, some people in Italy might call that an affogato, but the fact that you just call it coffee and ice cream, I dig it. And Hannah Bird, I'm going to put a solo, one of these days, I'm going to treat myself to a solo little getaway thing. I actually sort of, I know what I want to do. I know, yeah, we'll see. It's November 19th, 2026. We'll see if and when that ever actually happens. So, Betsy Broadcast, cannot wait to spend time with you as well in February. Can't wait for my first view of the Black Panther statue in the lobby. It's gorgeous. And as the shows in the Grand Hall happen, pay attention to how that statue changes by virtue of the lighting effects that are on it. It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I think there's a photo on my Instagram. If you stand behind it, I think you get a really cool view of, it's in here somewhere. Yeah, I think if you sort of stand behind it, you get a really cool view of the statue and the vibranium inspired chandelier. Yeah, I dig. Becky says, hold that thought. I have a lot of thoughts. We need another Christmas cruise. Betsy Parkas, I am with you. Hopefully Becky Menken is putting down her 13th cocktail of the day and is going on her site to find out what Halloween. Becky, we can do Halloween and Christmas. Like, let's do Halloween and Christmas and let people just choose which one they want to do. They could do one. They could do both. My answer is always, why not both? But Halloween on the Magic, so much fun last October. I love getting dressed up. I'm a kid at heart. I don't care. I was sad this year. Like, my kids are older. They're out of the house. We don't really get trick-or-treaters here. this is gonna be like, this is the most pathetic thing. Like, I was so sad I didn't get invited to a Halloween party. Like, it's like high school and grammar school and college and law school all over again. Because I love Halloween. I love spooky season. I love the movies. I want to just like get dressed up. I have like all these costume ideas and like a costume I just want to wear for a Halloween party. I don't know if I wore it. If I wear it on a Disney cruise, I don't know if anybody would get it. But we did one, Becky, what was it, 2 years ago? We did Halloween on the high seas. And I had my Dharma jumpsuit from Lost. And I had my Dharma jumpsuit from Lost. I had something else. I don't even remember. But I love it. I dig it. So I would do both. We can have another Christmas one with our ugly sweater contest, Secret Santa. William says, if you do a Halloween one, I definitely look into it. Nice to have familiar faces on the boat since I'd solo travel. Cruising is better when you do it with friends, I promise you. Let me see. 5-day cruises are the best. I'm catching up. I'd be down for a very merry cruise in 26. Just saw one on the Mexican Riviera that looks great, Becky, which I've never done before. It's hard to concentrate on a book when they're chicken tender store. I'm telling you, I wish... Like, I took a picture of my tenders and Big Hero 6 in the background. If you could have seen my face, I just had this such little simple joy of my tendies and my french fries and Big Hero 6 in my Big Hero 6 room. Like, I was like, I am the luckiest kid in the whole wide world. I said that to myself. I'm like, you are the luckiest something year old, 7-year-old kid in the whole wide world. Until I looked down and saw that my chicken tenders were gone. So, Robbie says, is the love for the Magic Class ships and the Dream Wish Class the same as Disneyland and Disney World when it comes to the size and what they offer? Robbie, I think it's an interesting comparison, but I don't look at those the same way. There is, yes, you can sort of parallel the quaintness and the charm of the magic and the wonder to the larger ships. I do see that there, but there's also, well, maybe it is not the worst thing in the world. But I think because the stories are different, because the theming is different, and now in this Wish Class ship, I think there is more, even more so on the Destiny, this through line of a consistent sort of that hero and villain theme. I think it does start to bring a little bit of different personalities to each of the ships. Let me see. I brought books on vacation, never opened them once. I'm happy that I'm not happy that it's not me, but I'm happy that it's not me. Let me see. 2024, my gosh. Oh, I was Seuss. That's right. Seuss from Gravity Falls. I just had my giant question mark t-shirt on, but yeah, our daughter Kat was, that's right. I was so happy that somebody caught my Gravity Falls reference. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I just realized it is 8:26. How is it 8:26 already? My God, don't get old. Time flies so fast. Flies so fast. Embrace the, yeah. Savor every second because it goes by too fast. I do have to get ready. I do have an interview to do in the next little while. Do me a favor. Please download. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast yet, please do. If you haven't rated and reviewed the I haven't asked this for a long time. Well, other than last week, and thank you, by the way, to all of you who reached out. I know I was having a moment, and I know I let a very bad review sort of affect me, and I appreciate so many of you reaching out on Messenger and email. And have left positive reviews on Apple Podcast. Even if Apple Podcast is not where you primarily listen, it's very helpful if you can go in and do it. Same thing over at Spotify. You could do both. It's very helpful. It helps the show. First of all, it helps sort of push a junky review like that down, but it also will help other people find the show, and more importantly, the community and family as well. Once you listen to the show, we can come back. We can talk. You might have more questions after you listen to the show. You can post them in the clubhouse. We can talk about it on next week's show. Let me double check. I am here next week. I don't even know what week it is anymore. Good Gandhi. Next week is the night before Thanksgiving. A lot of people call it Friendsgiving. I don't think I have plans that night, ? So we will have our own Friendsgiving together here on the show, and you can obviously bring your questions about the Disney Destiny with you. Hey, wait a minute, not ready for that yet, or that yet. Don't forget, if you want to come with us or book your own travel, you can go to mousefantravel.com. Look, you know, I don't just love Mousefan Travel and love Becky and all of the travel advisors there, but wherever you are going, I promise they will make, like Disney, they will make your trip even more special. Don't forget to, no, where is that? I don't have it. Doesn't matter. Thanks to all of you who are members, by the way, of the WDW Radio Nation. I sincerely appreciate you. Looking forward to our next group call next week. If you want to find out other ways you can help support the show, you can go and be part of the Nation family over at www.radionation.com. I love you. I appreciate you. None of this cruise, this show, everything I get to do and share with you does not happen without you. I love and appreciate you so, so very much because of it. I really am. Sean just said, the luckiest boy in the world, like Pee Wee Herman. I am. I am the luckiest, most grateful, most blessed, and appreciative person in the world to you for the gift that you give me of your love, support, and your friendship. It is not a line. I mean it sincerely. If there's anything that I can ever do for you to repay the favor and the gifts that you have given me, just reach out on social or via email and let me know. Until next time, have an amazing night. Have a great week. If I don't see you next week, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Hope that you get to spend it with the people that you love. So until next time, bye. Now, Lou, if you put your microphone on mute now, make sure you remember to unmute it before the next live show.